Hey friends, this is Marilyn from tarotclarity.com, and the other day, in the past few days, I showed individual decks that were based on the artwork of Hieronymus Bosch. This one was the first, the Bosch Tarot put out by Lo Scarabeo. The artwork for this deck was based on Bosch, but Atanisov made artistic decisions in order to make Bosch's imagery coherent or cohesive to a tarot deck. The second deck I did was Hieronymus Bosch by Travis McHenry, the Hieronymus Bosch Tarot. And when I revealed the deck, and you can see both of these videos, the most recent videos to today's, we saw that this was more like an oracle. So even the 21 Triumph cards aren't genuine, tarot Triumph cards. But nevertheless, I said that I would compare the two side by side, just not the whole deck, but the Triumph cards, and or the Trump cards. And I asked if nobody wanted to see that to let me know, and nobody said not to. So I guess I'm going to do it. So if you're in the market or you're interested in getting a Bosch deck, and you have these two options, they're both in print. So maybe this would be helpful to you in deciding which one you might want to use. All right, so here we have the Fool. Actual Bosch image, one that was adapted. I don't even know how much of this is genuine Bosch, because Atanisov really did a great job making it look legit, really. And for going through the artwork of Bosch, I must say that these first two cards of authentic Bosch art really lend themselves well. You'll notice there's a dog in each of the images. So it really lends itself well. Now they part ways when we get to the female Pope, right? The Hieronymus Bosch deck calls it the Mistress of Terror. Now why she would be associated with terror, I don't know. But the sub-words or the key words here are control, submission, and feminine power. Empress. I might have chosen this one to be the female Pope, but this was the image chosen to be the Empress. Here we have the Emperor. And here it's called Kings of the East. Perhaps a little nod to the Four Moors cards of the historic decks, Italian decks. Okay, now you'll see we have the tinfoil hat guy as the surgeon who relates to the Pope. And we see the tinfoil hat image was chosen in this deck as part of the magician, or the magus. So, in comparing these two cards, you can see this is the original, and then this is the Atanisov version. So he really did a seamless job, I think, in representing the work. Okay, and then here's the Pope in the Lo Scarabeo. Now with the Chariot, I think this is where I get thrown the most. And this is a fun chariot. I pointed it out when I did this reveal of this video, of this deck a couple days ago. But it's kind of a fun image. But here, the Chariot is called deception, so it has nothing to do with the Chariot as how I understand it. I mean, you may understand it as deception, but it's like, this is where I part ways, I guess. That and the female Pope, I wouldn't necessarily see the female Pope as terror, you know. But at any rate, the key words here are lies, deceit, hidden truths, and secrets. So we definitely part ways here as a female who's being groped by some kind of creature behind her, and she's looking into her reflection into the mirror of an ass of someone who isn't quite human, because they have branches for feet here, and then maybe these are the arms of this thing. So and then I don't know what this is behind her, but maybe these arms are actually part of this leg, which became a tree over here. It's really fascinating image, but I don't know that I would have chosen it for the Chariot. And here we have judgment, or excuse me, justice. And, you know, in the Hieronymus Bosch deck, it's called ignorance, conceit, conflict, adversity, stupidity. So I'm guessing they gave it attributes other than justice. We have the Hermit. What she calls illumination, which I can understand. Revelation, knowledge, light in darkness. So I get that connection to the Hermit. Table of Plenty, I think it's called. Yeah, so I can sort of see this too as the wheel. Keywords: success, food, rewards, capitalism. Now this is being called the flower pusher. I don't know if this is supposed to be fortitude or justice or both, because underneath it says force, justice, and strength. And then here's fortitude of the Lo Scarabeo deck. Okay, so here we have the Hanged One. And here he's called the Barrel Boy. Stillness, patience, inner reflection, restraint. So I guess they've given it a little bit of like Rider-Waite-Smith meaning as far as not being a consequence for a punishment. You know, it's more like somebody more in tune with being patient or stagnant. You know, sometimes the depending on the question, the nature of the question, sometimes if the hangman, the traditional hangman appears in a reading and somebody wants to know how something's going to progress, I can see calling the appearance of the hanged man a kind of stagnation. I get that, you know, kind of like hanging around waiting for something to happen, rather than taking it to mean a punishment or a consequence for punishment. But this one shows no sense of like punishment at all. It's just mostly like inner reflection and stagnation. Okay, death, I think we get it. Here we have temperance, which in the Hieronymus Bosch deck by Travis McHenry, it's called paradise. But we see the wings, which suggests that it's a virtue, which it is. And I think I think temperance was often associated with the Lover's card, if I'm not mistaken. I have forgotten that, but I think there might be a connection between temperance and the Lover's card. Okay, here we have the Devil, and they call it temptation. So I get that. I get this one here. The Tower, I get that here too. The River to Hell, which I can get. I can understand that connection. Here, the Star card. I don't, I wouldn't readily, since considering there's no star in the picture, it's kind of hard. Maybe there were no stars in the artwork that he could find, I don't know. But they call it the dreamer. Sleep, dreams, visions, inspiration. So, when you have keywords, especially if you're doing work for clients, it kind of gets in the way of being able to fully interpret the card as you would a star card. Ooh, my apologies. Here's the moon, which calls the Grail Knight. So I don't get the connection. Let's see. The keywords are blaze of glory, trickery, danger, failure, honor, courage. And, the sun card. Sometimes we see the Christ child as the sun card because it's literally the sun card. And I guess, whether it's the Christ child or the sun itself, there's still a positive connotation, especially if you happen to be Christian and believe that, the son of God is a special person, special entity, being, birth, children, learning, new beginnings. I definitely can see this as judgment, but they call it the ascent of the blessed. Rebirth, recognition, assistance, promotion. Whereas this, as Tanisov did, a much more traditional portrayal of judgment. But I do like this one. And I do agree that this would have been an appropriate image for judgment. I just don't understand why he deviated from the names of the trump cards. And I rather do like this world card. I do like it. I love this one too. So here are the side-by-side comparisons between the Bosch Tarot by Lo Scarabeo and the Hieronymus Bosch Tarot by Travis McHenry. And, if you're only in the market to buy one Bosch deck, hopefully this video will help you decide between the two, just the side-by-side comparison of the Triumph cards. If you want to see more specifically about either, I've done videos about each of them independent of the other. So you might want to go back a video or two to find it, and I'll make it easy for you, and I'll put each link for the other down below. Until next time, friends, peace and stay well.